James Bond, A Convenient Lie is coming. It's a new opera, and it's happening at Centrepoint Theatre, and it's kicking off this Thursday. Very exciting. How about we say hello right now to James Bond? He joins us. Kyle McDonald is here. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I have to say that I love this town.
Yeah?
I'm Toronto-based, so forgive me.
That's okay.
But Ottawa's, I've had a great time every time I'm here doing a show. So
well, it's good to have you here. Now, okay, you're the president of Malfi Productions.
Yes.
Now, tell us about your production company.
Great. So my production company, I'm a sucker for the classics like Shakespeare, classical music, and I can see how there's some difficulty transitioning that into contemporary audiences these days. So my mandate for my production company is to combine tradition, Shakespeare, opera, etc., with innovation. So trying to find ways to bring great old art into the contemporary sphere that is accessible and fun.
So I guess what you're saying is then, when as far as James Bond is concerned, because that is great old art at this point, like it's going back in time, the legacy of James Bond, like the 60s at this point, I guess. Yeah. Okay, and then the books. I mean, you're an expert on James Bond, aren't you?
Well, I won't go that far, but I am a huge fan.
You're a huge fan. Okay, so why did you decide to put together A Convenient Lie?
Okay, so A Convenient Lie. So the sort of underlying theme of the opera, there's and this won't be a spoiler or anything. No. But the villain is an eco-terrorist. So his deal is he's upset that all the bees are dying off in global warming, right? So his thing is, so it's an inconvenient truth is the idea that we have global warming, and so a convenient lie is sort of what he uses to combat that. Okay. So it's playing on that.
So you're singing a lot. You don't see James Bond singing too often.
No, very infrequently. And you know what? There's actually no dancing.
Really? So no dancing at all?
No, not for me.
Yeah? But it's an opera.
Yeah.
So it's arias that you're performing?
Yeah, so what it is, again, so this is the merging the old with the new. So this entire project is all called from public domain. Which is why I can get away with Bond in Canada. In other parts of the world, the laws are a little different, but here we have 50 years before it's public domain. So all the music, so it's Verdi, Mozart, Rossini, all the composers we know and love, their music is all public domain as well. So what I've done is I've taken their great music, which is already perfect and tried and tested, and put it in my show and changed the words and made it English. So I invented a new plot with old music, I guess with somewhat semi-old characters of Bond, Moneypenny, and Q. Yeah. And put it all together.
I was just going to ask you about the characters. So we can look forward to seeing the classic characters from James Bond movies?
Yes. So I only have three from the originals. That's Bond, Moneypenny, and Q. Okay. I like the property, but I wanted to create a new world. So we have those. I think those are the most famous. Yeah. I mention M, but he never or she never appears. Okay. Yeah.
I'm very fascinated to see this performance. I know I'll be a part of it on Thursday as well,
yes,
and I'm going to be introducing, or something's going on there. So
some cartwheels, maybe.
Possibly, yes. Now, do you wear the suit that James Bond would normally be wearing? And you look very, the tuxedo he would have on, his classic look?
Yes, so that's my costume for the show. Like I said before, I was thinking about bringing it in today, but it's at the cleaners.
It's at the cleaners.
Yeah, and for the record, the bow tie is a real bow tie that I have to tie. And that is an adventure in itself.
Yeah, okay.
Doing the actual bow tie, there's a secret move where you have to, anyway, it's very difficult to show. You have to, like, get it in 360 degrees. But I think I've got it down.
Now, James Bond, very famous for the romances. Is there a romantic plot to this as well?
We have the typical two Bond girl structure. I don't want to give it too many spoilers, but there's a bad girl and there's a good girl. Okay. Right? And they're both heavily involved in sort of bringing the plot to its conclusion. So. Okay.
So many different famous actors have played James Bond over the years. Sean Connery and Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan. Which Bond are you?
So, yeah, I wish I was that famous.
Which character? Because they are Bonds, but every actor played him a little differently. Yeah. So which Bond would you say you are?
I'm not sure I'm quite any of those. My favorite, alarmingly for some people, is Timothy Dalton. He's very attractive, he's charming, and he had that fire. So my Bond is, been very careful not to make it derivative. So I took the elements that make up Bond, and then I sort of did my own thing to it. But I would love to hear which Bond people think I'm the most like.
Okay.
So I haven't thought about it because I don't want to necessarily draw those parallels.
Well, there's only 3 performances for people to make that decision in their minds. And they're all at 8 p.m. First one kicking off this Thursday.
Yes.
How different is it from the movies then?
Well, in the sense that, I mean, one thing I kept is a lot of locations and fast scenes, which is unusual for opera. Because usually there's a lot of scene changes, right? So it's very laborious to change locations. So that I've kept, which I think is enjoyable. And with that comes some certain staging challenges of keeping it nimble. But I think in conjunction with the audience's imagination and goodwill, I think it's going to be a very good time that way. Do
you have to do your James Bond isms throughout the opera as well?
There's a few here and there. There's a few here and there.
I'm wondering if you'd like to do one.
Right now. You want me to sing a bit here?
Well, not sing, but I mean, some of his, you know, the shaken not stirred.
Oh yeah, I can do some of that stuff for you. He actually has, he does sing Martini shaken not stirred, but let's see. Well, there's a line where he's about to go crash this ball for the villain, right? Okay. He's holding this party, and he's gonna, can you get me a disguise and on the invite list? And Moneypenny's like, yes, of course. And she's like, do wear your nice tuxedo, James. And he goes, always. Ba-bow. And I put falling artist.
Kyle McDonald, thank you very much. Playing James Bond. James Bond, A Convenient Lie, happening the opera at Centrepoint Studio Theatre, kicks off Thursday. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you, and I'll see you there.
More coming up. The Run to Quit 5K race is going to be here soon. Details next on Daytime.